Hi, Morrisville. David Ney here. Just wanted to talk to you about a preliminary budget discussion with the Morrisville School District. I'll just jump right over to that screen and put that up. So um, they had a meeting on the 13th a couple nights ago, and just keep in mind that this is a very preliminary budget discussion. Um, Meeting. So a lot can still change for better, for worse as we go forward. But I just wanted to give you the nuts and bolts of it. Um, we are looking at get down to the next one, a 3.6% millage increase. That will take us from 2.25.9709 to 234.1058. That's in addition to the millage increase that the borough just implemented. PSER's rate is going up a little bit. It assumes a zero change in staff and preserves the current programs. Some unknown factors here on the page. You can see changes in real estate valuation as well as changes in state funding. The governor's budget proposals coming out on February 4th. Also, Manor Park sales on schedule. They sold that property, I believe, for $600,000. Winter stimulus, future debt service. Tech school district debt service will increase in 2 years. So the projected expenses are just under 23 million. Remember, that is to graduate fewer than 60 kids per year. So that's quite a number. The projected revenue with the 2.3%, or I'm sorry, the 3.6% millage increase. Even with that, we're still shy of 420, almost $426,000. I know in the past the state has been helping bridging that funding gap, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. And then the millage, as you can see, that at 3.6% millage increase works out to just shy of $150 per property per year. The board considerations here, if they exceed the that 3.6%, that Act 1 index, it requires a vote, a referendum. I think they're leaning away from that right now for obvious reasons. We all know how that vote's going to go. And the other option would be cut expenses to match that percentage, which would either be in staffing or programs or both. And then they could pass a resolution not to exceed the 3.6%, which I think is what they're leaning towards. And here are the important dates to remember. I'll leave that up for a minute in case anybody wants to pause and just check those dates out. So going back to the funding issue, if you remember, Senator Sanasario, as well as State Rep Warren and State Rep Galloway, had a press conference on May 1st of 2019. One of the issues that they brought up was a funding gap. We are being lumped in with 19067 zip code, which includes Yardley and Lower Makefield. If you separate Morrisville out by itself, that annual salaries are reduced by about $23,000 per year, and that affects the amount of funding we get from the state. It's my personal conviction, though, even though I believe this funding gap should absolutely be fixed, it's my conviction that it's not going to be enough to help us sustain our own district long term. We have a declining student population. We average 62 kids per grade level between 6th and 12th grade. That's according to some stats that I recently pulled from the Pennsylvania Department of Education. And we really need to be looking very, very seriously at other options. I will say that I have been reaching out to Lower Makefield residents, Yardley Borough residents, even Falls Township residents, both in person and through social media. And I was quite surprised that regarding all the in-person conversations that I've had, not one person was opposed to the potential idea of a merger, not one. And I've spoken to about 15 people and families in person on this subject. Now, the post that I put on social media, I put one post on Lower Makefield is a great place to live. You can go and look up that post. I'm told that that post saw about 4,500 views. The majority of those were positive, and likewise over on the Falls Township page, I don't have the stats as far as the views on there. I know they have about 14,000 followers. I don't know how many people saw that post. There were some negative comments as to be expected, but the overwhelming majority are actually very positive. And I think the main theme going through in support is that they're willing to at least explore doing a feasibility study as long as that study doesn't cost the Pennsbury taxpayers any money. That sounds very reasonable to me, I think. The state can help out with that funding. I know Senator Senasario and again, Rep. Perry Warren and John Galloway are all absolutely committed to helping both districts and what's best for both of us. So we really need to be looking very, very seriously and very carefully as a community from this day forward. We need to really refocus and double down on our attention and our efforts. And I will do my best to keep this at the forefront using this page to the best of my ability. I didn't want to be the bearer of bad news with the tax millage increase, but I'm sure everybody would want to know about that as soon as possible. Again, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.